Pelvic floor relaxes, the bladder can contract.
All right, so I feel like among the fitness or movement world, there is a real tendency to demonize a particular position or motion as being bad or wrong or don't do this. And while there is a time and a place for don't do this, all movements are beneficial. All movements have a time and a place. And to say that we don't want an anterior pelvic tilt or we don't want a posterior pelvic tilt isn't entirely true. We don't want it during certain activities. So if you're someone who is posteriorly pelvic tilting or tucking your tail under all day long, then this is going to tend to cause you to tighten the muscles in the back of your pelvis. It's going to make you particularly good at tilting your pelvis backward, at externally rotating or rotating your hips outward, and it's going to make you not so good at tilting your pelvis forward or rotating your hips inward. And so the reality is we want to be able to go both directions. We want to be able to rotate our hips in and out. We want to be able to tilt our pelvis backward and forward, and we want to do it at the appropriate time so that it's advantageous for us. Because if you get stuck in any position, you lose function going the other way, and it has downstream repercussions. So if you are stuck, then the question becomes, well, how do we change this? And so we change this by creating length in the muscles that are too short, by increasing the strength in the muscles going the opposite direction so that we can keep them from staying excessively long and get a better contraction out of them. And we practice this as much as we can throughout the day, and we train our brain to make use of this other direction because our brain is really good at finding one way and not so good at finding the other way.
Stop. I just finished my email on magnesium. It's all drafted and ready to go, but I learned even more stuff that I didn't know, like in the presence of excess estrogen, and so like birth control situations, the estrogen will decline your levels of magnesium. As you age, you have less absorption of magnesium. Alcohol can affect like how much magnesium can stay in your body. Super interesting. Just really, really interesting stuff. So I have all the information in there. It's way more than I could ever make on a video on Instagram. So I hope you find it useful. I'm going to send it out on Friday. So here is a link to sign up for the emails. Again, I don't send out a lot. I've only sent out one other than the free guides that you get, which are supposed to be helpful to you on a lot of the topics that seem to be most popular. So I will leave that here. It's just a series of emails, and then you'll get the magnesium one on Friday if you sign up. Stop hovering over the toilet seat. It's weakening your pelvic floor. Your pelvic floor contracts to keep pee in and has an inverse relationship with the bladder. When the pelvic floor relaxes, the bladder can contract to release urine. But squatting activates the pelvic floor and